Welcome back to podcast. Today we are going to read a news article about the incident we had about your favorite Hongdae boys attacked this famous Taiwanese YouTuber in Hongdae. I'm going to read the article now. Liu posted photos of her injuries, criticized Korean police as incompetent. Seoul is not safe for women, especially at night, especially towns like Hongdae. There are a lot of F-boys, Hongdae boys. As an Asian man, being a guy who was unfuckable in the market, you should get it. I keep saying to you, you should get yellow fever shot. Please be vaccinated. This is not COVID vaccine. Yellow fever, please get it. It's not that pricey, trust me. A Taiwanese YouTuber, Liu Li-ying, claims she was assaulted in Seoul's Hongdae district after rejecting unwanted date request from two men, Hongdae boys. Liu, who has over 460 subscribers, said the men approached her and a friend, suggesting they spending the night together. What an idiot. When she refused and told them not to touch her friend, one of the men struck her in the face and beat her, leaving bruises and a fractured finger. That's too much already. Liu posted photos of her injuries on Instagram and criticized Korean police as incompetent, claiming they were slow to act, only checked her passport and released the boys. The incident sparked online discussions with some Taiwanese users sharing similar experiences in Korea. This is embarrassing. Experts noted that while such street assaults are rare, travelers, especially women, should be cautious when approached by strangers, as intentions may not always be clear. Foreign girls keep saying Seoul is safe. Come on. I really want to emphasize that Seoul is a big city. Big city is never safe. I would say Seoul is more safe than other cities such as New York, LA, Paris, cities in Italy. Okay, it is more safe than those cities. But Seoul is not safe for women, especially at night, especially towns like Hongdae. There are a lot of F-boys, Hongdae boys. There are many things to discuss on this topic. We can talk about police incompetence. I strongly agree in general. Also, Korean men being too cocky, overconfident that they can get any foreign girls, open-minded. I hate that. And also this brave Taiwanese YouTuber, she tried to protect a friend. Many things. I can relate to a lot of points here. I agree that Korean police are usually very slow. In my opinion, Korea is safe because we have so many CCTVs. Whatever you do, it'll be most likely you'll get caught, whatever you do illegally. Because of the CCTV, they will always track you down. But again, stuff like this happens. The way they act, how fast they act, usually not very impressive. I have a very low standard when I need the help from police because they have been quite incompetent in general. As individual officers, I don't feel safe around them. I feel stronger around them. I feel like I can protect myself better than they do for me. Look at Korean police officers on the street. They're usually very small, skinny, pretty, male or female both. I had a tattoo client of police officers, two of them. One of them was a total player. Obviously, he was not a good officer because he was a womanizer. He loves women too much. As usual, I never asked, but he was more than happy to tell me about his dating life. But a lot of it was dating his coworkers. And he showed me the pictures of his coworkers, female police officers. They don't look like police. They look like influencers. They're so pretty, small, skinny, fragile looking, sweet. I don't feel safe around those women. So when he was telling me about his dating life in the office, not to mention they do date a lot, there's nothing wrong, but I would rather have them focus on the work and protecting the people who need help, like this poor YouTuber from Taiwan, the country I love. But I get that they're busy, they get a lot of calls. Yeah, sure, I get that too. It's a tough work. I respect that, but at the same time, when I went to Europe, when I went to Sweden, I remember this police officer, like huge, tall guy. He was just doing his shift alone. I still remember the guy, like so tall, like well built. He was a little bit intimidating, right? So if something happens to me, I would feel safe around them. But police officers, from my own experience, plus how they look, I don't feel safe around them. I don't expect a lot from them. But talking about the overall security in Korea, yes, I feel safe mostly because of the CCTVs, security cameras. But as an individual, I don't think they could have done better job because they are usually like this. This for me, this doesn't surprise me. This is quite usual that they let the boys go and that they don't really treat the foreigners fairly. I've experienced with my exes as well. When my ex needed the police, they didn't really help. Their common excuse is, oh, I don't speak the language. So I don't really have good memories with the police. But again, at the same time, I appreciate the security of Korea, how safe I feel living in Korea. As an individual, not so much. They never impressed me.
We have a CCTV in every street, but
Yes.
apparently they didn't check the CCTV. So
They don't look at it unless they have to.
yeah, we don't feel safe.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, what David said. I feel like, he feels like, we feel like police officers in Korea, they seem like they became police officer because it's a stable job and they want to get paid. Overtime, night shift, and the benefits and the pension. I feel like when I met personally the police officers a few times, not to mention one of my old videos, the traffic police guy hit on my exes because she was crying, tried to pick up a girl because police officers can be popular in dating market. So I have all these images and experiences and stories I heard. And also, not to mention when I filed reports because someone harassed me, how they handled the situation, how slowly they handled the situation, the case. I was investigated by the fire that happened with my neighbor. All this experience plus all the stories I heard from my friends, secondhand experience, nothing good. I remember nothing good about them, to be honest. I understand that it's a tough job. I don't really remember any cases where the police officer saved this person, like people around me. But again, on newspapers, they try really hard to sugarcoat their performances. Like, oh, this off-duty officer saved this grandmother's life by CPR or whatever. But again, that's what they are supposed to do, no, in my opinion. So I feel like the Korean newspapers, they praise police officers for doing their job. It's not like we have like a narcotics catching like a drug load. We don't have that kind of crime anyway in Korea, right? So I feel bad for the Taiwanese YouTuber. Not to mention, as I said, I love Taiwanese people. I've worked with a lot of Taiwanese people at my last 9-to-5 job. And I've been to Taiwan 3 times for business trip. These people are nice, very nice. Also, during the period when I was working for a Chinese-owned company, I've made a couple of good Taiwanese friends. We became friends later. Really nice people. I feel like there are educated version of Chinese, like very well behaved, calm. When they speak, they are very eloquent. And when we discuss our different experiences in Korea and Taipei, my friends are from Taipei. I always felt like Taiwanese society is a very mature society where the people behave and how they treat me on the street when I was in Taiwan for business trip. A lot of them spoke pretty okay English to help me out whenever I needed help. And one of my friends, Taiwanese friends, is actually gay, and he told me about the gay community in Taiwan. I felt like their society is way older and matured. Therefore, every time a Taiwanese person was very kind and well-mannered, from my experience, just one guy's experience. So because of my personal experience, I don't think she's lying. And also, I can see that the Hongdae boys and a lot of Korean men, regardless of the age, we became overconfident that we can get any foreign girls because we have K-pop, we have K-drama. Just because I have Korean passport, it makes me so attractive in the market. So I can get any girls like, do you live alone, that kind of stuff. We are going over the top, right? We became a bunch of twats who hit on every foreigners on the streets. I really hate that reputation now, because this is very interesting, because in one of my recent videos, I kind of called myself, I was the first generation of Hongdae boys, because I used to hang out in Hongdae. That was a time when Hongdae used to be a artsy town without so much of corporate franchises. It was a unique place. There are a lot of artists who live there, work there, because the rent was very low. So it was very authentic. And then it was growing. When I was in my 20s, when I used to hang out there a lot, it was growing. So I saw the dramatic change and I stopped going there. But at the same time, Hongdae was the town where we always had a bit of more foreigners, along with Itaewon. But Itaewon, your budget should be a little bit higher. So I never hung out there. But there are always more foreigners there, especially American soldiers. Not your favorite people, but for me, it was not a thing. But Hongdae was more of the town for unique foreigners who had a genuine interest before all this K-pop, K-drama blew up. But at the same time, it's funny because at the time, if I asked any foreign girls out, most likely 9 out of 10, they would reject me. Because we are not very popular back then. Then the world changed because of the K-pop, BTS. Thank you. But Korean men became so attractive to many women in the world, and we take that for granted. And we feel like we can do whatever we want, and we can treat a lot of foreign women however we want to. And we expect that because I'm Korean, and my passport makes me very attractive in the market, and I can take any girls to the bed anytime that I want. So that's why we have this, the phrase like, you want to come to my house? I live alone with a cat who is open-minded, and my cat is eating ramen. So I can sleep with it. That kind of stuff, I really don't like that. This hype of Hongdae boys often is sarcastic, but at the same time, I saw another Korean dude taking the piss out of Hongdae boys, saying stuff like, "Oh, there are Gangnam boys now." But the boy who was talking about Hongdae boys in a bad way, he looked like a Hongdae boy too. So I laughed at that video, and he doesn't realize that he's not one of them, right? He's so confident, like, and he takes his top off all the time, like look at me type. So he's doing the same shit. His Instagram is filled with his topless pictures, and taking the piss out of Gangnam boys and Hongdae boys, whatever that is. And yourself is also Hongdae boy. What are you doing? I think he was Gyopo. He spoke good English. So he was taking the piss out of Hongdae boy's accent. But at the same time, like, you're one of them. What are you doing? So this is an endless cycle of Hongdae boys taking the piss out of Hongdae boys scoring some girls in Hongdae. And it's just endless. And these imbeciles, the two twats, they expected these two poor Taiwanese girls would say yes, and they couldn't. Their ego was so small they could not take the rejection.
By the way, in this situation, I think Taiwanese woman, she was very brave.
Very
because
brave.
She did fight Korean guys, protect her friend. So it's very impressive. And then,
So I want to praise Liu Li Ying for fighting for her friend, which is very brave. Because a lot of times when I heard the stories like this from poor girls who got attacked by men, they usually freeze. They don't even move because it's such a big shock because they got hit. And what are the chances of these poor girls have an experience of getting beaten up by men? So most likely it's the first time. Then if that kind of things happen to you first, then you freeze and you don't know what to do. It's not like, it doesn't make you a coward, but you're so shocked. But this girl, she fought the men.
yeah,
It's something that we appreciate to protect a friend.
because
It's very
a foreign
impressive.
country, and
Exactly.
they might feel scared. and,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Intimidated. They probably felt small because they're not local. But impressive enough, she fought for her life and for her friend. It's just a good friend. You wanna keep her as a friend. I love brave women.
Then I found a post. Please read this paragraph.
This is what she posted on YouTube. in Korean, by the way, very impressive. She said, I am 26-year-old Taiwanese woman who has lived in Korea for 8 years. Since coming to Korea as an adult, I have received help and attention from many Koreans. And I'm just an ordinary person who has grown to love Korea. I absolutely don't hate Korea because of this incident. In fact, I feel deeply sorry for the Koreans who've left apology comments on my post. It wasn't you who was at fault. It was the man I argued with that day. I continue to live in Korea because I love Korean culture and my boyfriend is Korean. Okay. Okay, 몰랐네. I made this video because I wanted to tell other women who have experienced similar situations not to be afraid. Being afraid only makes things harder for you. That's what I'm trying to say. Not to criticize Korea. I hope my Korean friends don't misunderstand. I love my country, Taiwan. So do I. But I also love Korea, my second country where I've lived for a long time. I sincerely hope this situation ends quickly, and I sincerely hope you never have to go through something like this again. I am so grateful to my Korean friends who have spoken up on my behalf.
Well, I feel like she is very mature.
She's very mature, yes, very understanding. But at the same time, I keep saying this. A lot of foreign women, they think Korea is like absolutely safe. You shouldn't be scared. You shouldn't be scared. Of course not. But you gotta be careful. And also being in Hongdae, she is 26, so I think she has every reason to be in Hongdae. It's an interesting town if you're in your 20s, but at the same time, at night and evenings, you gotta be careful. There are a lot of overconfident Korean imbeciles who would hit on you, and they would not be able to take the rejection from you, and they will get mad. Obviously, a lot of times these twats are drunk, so they're not normal. They will not behave normal to you. So watch out. I keep saying this. I keep arguing with my friends, foreign female friends. They say, oh, Jed, it never happened to me. This happened. So trust me. Korea is nowhere is 100% safe for women. Be careful. And this kind of stuff embarrassed me quite badly. So I hate this.
Yeah, what a shame.
What a shame. And also the Hongdae boys, they should have lived my era too, where Far East Asian men used to be not good enough to date in many countries, even in Korea. So I've been humble before. I've been rejected many times. But this sudden change is very shocking. You know, like Korean men are so attractive to a lot of women. It's like, as an Asian man in England, in Korea, wherever I was, being a guy who was unfuckable in the market, and now Korean men are so attractive in the top of the food chain, and we can score any white girl, black girl, brown girl, Taiwanese girl. Obviously, we are mistaken. This gap is too huge. So I understand that some young dudes, the Hongdae boys or Gangnam boys, whatever they are, the Pepsi boys, Sprite boys, I don't care if the Fanta boys, these boys thinking that they can score any girls. I understand that. I see where they're coming from. Obviously, it's not true, but at the same time, a lot of girls also they're traveling Korea to have fun with Korean men at the same time. So sometimes I know for a fact, because I've met someone who did this for the Hongdae boys, they have been successful with all this approach in Hongdae. Like one night stand, casual relationships, like a vacation sex. I've met someone who had that with the local boys. They love the taste of local meat because, I have this fever for Korean men. By the way, I got the shot on yellow fever. So you should get it. I keep saying to you, not just for Africa, for Korea, you should get yellow fever shots. Please be vaccinated. This is not COVID vaccine. Yellow fever, please get it. It's not that pricey, trust me. Get it. So anyway, we have too much of that now. I know all of my subscribers are sane, but there are who are not very sane, and they are hoping to have a fun time with the Korean men when they travel here or when they move here. So these boys, I see where they're coming from, and I see that why their approach was so dramatic, because they've been successful. I'm sure they've they've been with some easy foreigners, I'm sure, but they're a very small part of women. I mean, not every man are like that. Just the same, there are a small part of women who are very open to have fun with Korean men in Hongdae. Maybe that's why they're in Hongdae in the first place. But again, you should be careful. You should be careful. And I feel bad. I feel bad about Taiwanese woman who is, not to mention, very brave. But at the same time, it could have been worse. And also, I'm very sorry that the police officer didn't handle the situation very well. But again, you should expect this. If you come to Korea, Korea is quite safe. But again, at night, please be somewhere that's more safe than others, such as Hongdae, not so safe. But when you call the police, don't expect them to be right there for you. They're not very competent. In my opinion, they're not very competent. I strongly disagree they are. This incident has a lot of different aspects to it. Yeah. These days, I told David the other day, I take a bus, which I don't every day, but every time I take a bus, I see at least like 5 foreigners, regardless of where I am and where I am going. Because trust me, I never go to Hongdae. I never go to Itaewon. Those are foreigners' town. I never go there. Wherever I go, it's usually business district or just normal neighborhood, like quiet neighborhood. Regardless where I go, I see foreigners, like at least 5 foreigners in one bus ride. Yeah, if you get out of the Seoul, it's probably different, but it's like so many foreigners. That's what I'm saying. And if you go to Hongdae, I feel like there are more foreigners than Koreans. Yeah. So I know there are a lot out there, but be fucking careful, okay? Watch out. Take care of yourself. Protect yourself. Like, I've been told that the size of men's ego is proportional to the size of our package. But at the same time, a lot of Koreans now, we are light packers. But at the same time, our ego is too huge. So it's different now. Small package, huge ego. Thanks to K-pop and K-drama. I appreciate that actually. Because although I'm not scoring because of this, but at the same time, I am happy to see Far East Asian men became more fuckable or dateable. I appreciate that. I feel very lucky. Although I am a lot older, so I don't really pursue to have a lot of fun with women anymore. But again, I love seeing this change. Like we a lot of women look at us as a man now, dateable and doable, and fuckable. I appreciate that, but at the same time, it kind of spoiled us, especially young men, middle-aged men sometimes too, but mostly young men. That spoiled them, so they're overconfident. So a lot of those young boys who are spoiled with the hype of Korean men, they don't treat their foreign girlfriend right. They sleep with foreign women and ghost them. They 2-time, 3-time them. It's what a shame. But at the same time, you shouldn't give them so many chances. And we shouldn't behave like that in the first place. At the same time, you should be careful and protect yourself. Things like this does not happen every day, but this could happen to you. At the same time, somebody saying, oh, this kind of thing never happened to me. But this kind of thing happening to you once is more than enough. You gotta be careful and you gotta avoid incidents like that. And you gotta be in the safer places rather than somewhere like Hongdae or Itaewon, late night. I'm sure she was not hanging out there too late. But at the same time, Hongdae is not the safest town in Seoul. So I feel bad. At the same time, I am very proud of this young Taiwanese girl. And I hope the best for life in Korea and a relationship with a Korean boyfriend. Always Korean boyfriend there. I'm not jealous, but yeah, good for him. Good for her too. So this incident was very heavy and I was embarrassed. I felt ashamed reading this. So I hope she's better now. And thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.